Hello everyone, hope that you're all okay. Welcome to today's class. It's a shorter class and it's going to be a yin one, and it's about deep surrender. So please grab anything that will help you as a prop. If you have got a bolster, bolster's great, and blocks and bricks and blankets. If you haven't got a bolster, then anything like pillows, cushions or something rolled up, that will work just as fine. Some people like to use props in yin, some people don't. It's a choice. So traditionally you can hold poses yin for a few minutes, sometimes up until over 5 minutes. But for the purpose of the class, we're going to hold poses for about a couple of minutes. And in that time, it's about surrendering, releasing and letting go. So we're going to start off on our back. So just move whatever you don't need out of the way. And just let yourself roll down to the floor. If you can, keep the legs bent for this one. And just take a moment to let your hands just rest on the belly. Shoulders relax, shoulders nice and soft. And begin to just be aware of the rise and fall of your breath. Beginning to just let your attention just focus on this breath. Checking in with the body, just noticing how we're feeling today. Maybe how we feel from whatever has gone on in the day for us. Simply acknowledge it. And in these first few moments, just feel this act of surrendering down into the earth. Let the earth be there to support you, as if it was just there supporting you, encouraging you to relax and soften and to let go even more. Setting this focus into the practice about allowing ourselves to surrender. The more we surrender, the more calming we find it is for the mind, the more we are in the moment. Let yourself bend your knees, hug the knees in towards the chest, and just pause here for a moment, shoulders nice and relaxed. Take some attention into the back of the body. Just feel the back of the body gently pressing into the earth, still supported by the earth from here. Letting the hands come to the knees, just drawing a few circles with your knees from here. Opening up into the hips. And then circling out in that other direction from here. Bring your knees back in towards the chest. You're going to hands behind the back of the legs, lifting your legs up, bending the knees towards you, opening the knees out to the side for a happy baby pose. So either wrapping the hands around the thigh. We're going to stay still for this practice rather than moving. Letting the hands, maybe they lift up to reach the legs or the ankles. Or maybe they even reach up to take hold of outside the foot or the toe. Make sure your chin's tucked in. We're just going to slowly breathe from here. And as we breathe, we might notice any sensations around the body. You might be aware of how the joints are feeling. Try to relax as much as you can into the shoulders from here. So no tension in the shoulders. Let the back feel like it's really supported. If you need to ease slightly out the posture, if you need to go back to wrapping your hands behind the back of the legs, then you can absolutely do that, that's fine. And just spend a few more breaths here. And then allowing ourselves to bring the knees back into the chest. Drop your knees to one side from here and allowing yourself to roll all the way up. You're going to come to an all fours position from here. You're going to take a child's pose. So opening out your knees, and you can use any support that you've got to make it a supported child's pose. So if you've got a bolster or a blanket will work nice as well. You can allow yourself to come forward. And I quite like to, in this pose, let my head turn to one side. Ideally, you can also have your head to the bolster, that's fine. And just breathing from here. And just feel surrendering to whatever's supporting you right now. And just show you as well how a blanket can work nice if you don't have a bolster to hand from here. Your props are there just to encourage your body to surrender even more from here. And just see if you can be still in the posture. If you do need to move, then you can move, but if there's no pain, if there's no real discomfort, just allow yourself to be still. Being still is deeply healing for the mind and the body. And then if your head's to one side, let yourself turn your head to the opposite side. Nice long, slow breaths. Just see if you can use each breath to surrender and let go even more down in towards the earth. Maybe scanning the body to see if there's anywhere else we can just soften and let go. Surrendering down in towards the earth. Let your head slowly come back from here. Let yourself walk all the way back up. Let yourself come back to the knees. Drop your knees to one side. And we'll bring the soles of the feet together. So if you've got anything like your bolster or a brick or a block to support the head, you can do that. If you don't want to support the head as well, that's a preference. You don't have to. So soles of the feet together and create a nice diamond so you've got some space between your feet and the body. Let yourself lift up nice and tall from here. Just take a moment, just pausing. And then slowly hinging at the hips, coming forward. Coming into our butterfly pose, you can hold on to the feet or you can draw the elbows out more. If you find the head's uncomfortable, you can always use a brick or your bolster to create a tower to support the head. And then once you've found that position that works for you, just allow yourself to be still in it. And there's often a couple of things that sometimes happen when you're holding poses for a longer time. Sometimes what happens is the sensations become very strong, and it sometimes means that we need to ease out of a posture or use more props. Or sometimes the body relaxes even more, that allows us maybe to move deeper into a posture, so we take props away. I'm going to be here another minute or so just taking your time to feel that effects of surrender. Maybe you quietly say the words to yourself: surrender. Surrender to the moment. Surrender to the breath. Surrender to the posture. Feeling yourself still. Feel that by holding postures we get into the deep tissues, especially that surround around the hips, connective tissues, the fascia, Helps us to release any tension, any tightness that we may have. So slowly let yourself lift your head, coming all the way back from here. Help your knees up. Just take the hands behind you and just bring a bit of energy back into the legs by gently moving them from side to side. And then sitting up nice and tall, you're going to extend your legs out from here. We're going to come into forward fold. In yin yoga we call this caterpillar. So use again any props or anything that you need that might support the body as it comes forward. So they're quite good bolsters or bricks. So you're going to allow yourself to come forward. This could be an option in your forward folds, or you might find something else that works for you. You might not even use props. Some people just prefer to let the heads be free, so just see what feels good. I'm going to hold it here for a couple of minutes. Maybe just notice for you where the sensations feel the strongest at the moment. It might be different for everyone. For some of us it might be around the lower back or the hips. For some of us it might be around the mid back or upper back. Some of us it might be around your shoulders. See if you can surrender into that posture and let your breath allow you to find a deeper surrender. So focusing on slow, calm breaths as the muscles relax. As the earth is underneath us to support us. Make sure no tension in your shoulders. And even relax your face more across your forehead, around your eyes, around your mouth. Fully surrendering into a posture. And fully surrendering is not about how deep we go into the posture. It's about finding something that's going to work where we can feel still in a pose. And don't worry if the mind wanders, just notice it, bring it back to the breath. And slowly allowing yourself to lift up, coming all the way back. Just don't be in a hurry and a rush, just notice how that feels on the mind as you come up. So seated forward folds are very good, very calming for the mind. Sometimes they can ease headaches as well. So from here we're going to take the legs out wide from here into a dragonfly position. So the legs are going to be nice and wide, and you might find that sitting on a blanket might help to lift the hips a little bit higher. So if that's something that works, you can always do that. And then we're going to take a forward bend stretch over each leg. So again, if you've got anything that you can support the body with, you can use that. So you're going to take the hands, we'll do the right side first of all. So you're turning the body over that right leg. And then we're going to fold forward, hinging at the hips. And let the head release. You might be up a lot higher as well. Don't go into your deepest expression of the pose, because if we do that, then there's nowhere else to work once we stay in the postures longer. So you can always move into that a little bit later after a few breaths. You want the muscles to relax into the backs of the legs. You don't need to overly work the feet, so you might just relax into the toes and the feet. You might even visualise all that lovely space that you're creating in the muscles in the back of the legs. Long, slow breaths. Can you let your tummy stay nice and soft while you're in this position? Surrender into the pose. Surrender into the moment. And that surrender might be telling us to ease out of a posture or come out of it, or it might even be telling us to release deeper. The last few breaths from here. When you're ready, slowly lift your head, walk your hands back from here. And then if you used your props, take them over to the other side. Just pause for a moment, nice and lifted from here. And we'll do the same on the other side. You just take time, first of all, just encouraging that body to move over the leg. Remember, don't go into your full expression. You're just easing into it, first of all. And then just seeing what happens. Let the head be nice and heavy. The yin yoga, it's not about striving, we're just being in the moment. We're surrendering to the posture. We're surrendering to any props that we're using right now. Making sure we either close the eyes or just keeping a slow, gentle gaze, soft gaze, so that we find this moving inwards more. Long, slow breaths. Maybe silently saying the word surrender to encourage us to relax a little bit more. Muscles are relaxing, we're using kindness as we move into the postures. We're still observant of the body while we're in a posture. We're always listening, we're becoming the listener in a pose. Last couple of breaths. And then slowly let yourself lift up. Slowly walking your hands back from here. Coming back to the centre. Slowly bending the legs. Release off your blanket from here. We're going to come and do a twist down to the floor. So if you need some props or anything, just have them over ready to the right side. We're going to roll ourselves down towards the floor. Coming back to the backs from here. And then from here we're going to take your left leg and cross it over your right leg. So twisted roots pose for our twist. If it doesn't work, just keep the legs without a cross. You might lift up the bottom, shift your hips a little bit towards the left side, arms out to the side, and you can allow yourself to drop your knees to the right side. Some people like to do a bit of a double bind with the legs. That's an option as well, whatever feels good. And you might like to take your right hand onto the outside of that left leg. Maybe we even extend out with your left arm from here, so it comes just behind us a little bit out to the side. And you can support that the knees if you need to. You can prop them up with cushions or pillows. And just surrendering into this really nice twist from here. Letting the breath move through that feeling of surrendering. Just for the moment, the only thing that matters right now is your breath and the physical body and the position that we've created right now. And you scan through the body and encourage the rest of the body to surrender. The face, the jaw, the tummy, the arms and the shoulders, the hips and the legs. And then when you're ready, just begin to slowly move the arms first. We did a double cross, you can unravel the feet, you can come back to the centre, adjust the spine, hug the knees in towards the chest, just pause for a few moments before taking the feet to the floor. And then if you're doing the cross this time, the right foot is going to cross over. You can lift your hips and send your hips a little bit more over towards the right side. You can either do that double cross or just staying where you are, and then rolling, taking the knees over towards that left side. Right arm, it might come out to the side, or you might extend that arm behind you. And that hand on that leg is not to force it, it's just to encourage that leg to surrender even more. Surrender into all those points of contact you find with the earth right now. Just breathe in, you'll probably notice you find your breath a little bit more towards that left side of the body. And as we open up with that breath, maybe into that right side of the body, we feel we can just soften. We can be supported, connected to the earth. Just feeling still. There's maybe the muscles around the hips, the lower back just start to slowly release and open up. And slowly let yourself bring the arms back, unravel the feet, bring your knees back, uncross your feet. Hug the knees in towards the chest, squeezing them just gently in. Gently rocking from side to side. Just for a moment, letting the legs bend, find the floor, let the hands just rest on the belly, maybe widening the feet, maybe letting your knees just gently touch in so they may. Letting your lower back just soften and release and surrender. Feeling maybe that calmness that you feel that spreads not only across the body and the joints and the connective tissue, but also that calmness, that feeling in the mind right now. If you need to rest longer, then just take this time to rest, let the body just relax, or if you're feeling ready, just slowly roll over onto the right side, let the arm lengthen out, and in your own time, don't be in a hurry, just letting yourself slowly come back to Sukhasana, easy seated pose. Let your hands meet together and gently move your hands in towards the heart centre. And just slowly bowing the head down. Keep the eyes closed. Just giving yourself just some gratitude for right now, for making time to slow down and surrender into the moment. Let the eyes slowly blink open and inhale, lifting your head, lifting your heart. Namaste. I hope that you feel nice and calm and relaxed after that class.